Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO. So getting straight into the weekly outlook, looking at the DXY on the daily time frame, we're getting this wave C down. We're still in this wave C, so it's really going down onto the lower time frames to see what's happening. On the H4, we're still in this wave 5, and like I mentioned last week, I think we're getting an extended wave here in the wave 5. On the H1, I'm looking for that 1, 2, 3, a wave 4, and we get that wave 5 down. Then I can start to look for, a buy. Other than that, you could wait for a wave up in here, and you could scalp that wave 5 down in the shorter term. AU, I'm looking at that A, B, looking for this C up. We have a nice impulse up on the H4. So really, we got a nice impulse up from the low, so I'm just waiting for a nice correction in here. And then I'll look for a buy. Look for at least 3 up, but I'll wait for a complete correction in here on the H1 first. And yeah, there's nothing complete there yet. GU, like I mentioned last couple of weeks, we've broken the ending point of this wave A and this wave C up. Ideally, it gets up to this 100 fib, but we'll see how far this goes. H4, we got the 5 up, and I was looking for a larger correction in here. I still believe we are in a correction. We got like an impulse down, an impulse up, so we may get a correction in here and 3 up, and then a flat in here, or it may give you an impulse down and you get 3 in here, like 1, 2, 3 in here, and then you get a 1, 2, 3 before you get an A, B, C, completing your flat before you get another 5 up. So they're the two scenarios I'm looking at this stage. There's really not much you can do. I mean, you could look for a sell, but yeah, you're scalping in a B wave basically. If you're looking for the sell at this stage, which I would be looking for a sell rather than a buy. I wouldn't be looking for a buy. I'd be looking for some sort of a, this could be quite choppy though. So, it is quite risky. Ideally, we wait for a larger correction, ideally back to the 50 fib somewhere, and get a nice entry and look for the buy. EU on the daily, very similar. We're in this wave C, so ideally it gets up to this 100 fib. I mean, it may even get up to the 161.8, but we'll see how far it wants to go. H4, we got the 5 up and we lost the bearish divergence. So we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We lost the bearish divergence. So I'm looking for a larger correction in here, and then another 5 up. So again, I'm pretty much waiting for a nice correction in here, and then I can start to buy again. NU, same as the others pretty much. I'm looking at that A, a B, looking for that C up to that 100 fib. H4, we got a nice impulse up from the low. So like the rest, I'm waiting for a nice correction here. Ideally, it gets back to around the 50 fib of this impulse and look for a buy, and then trade at least a C up. Even if the daily doesn't play out, I'm still looking for at least 3 up in here. Ideally, it turns motive and the daily plays out. Daily wave C up plays out. GU on the daily, we got that A wave. All this is a B wave. I'm sort of thinking we sort of got A, B, C in here and an A, B, C. So I'm looking at this A, B. We get a C up in here, and then I'll be looking for an A, B, C, that larger C down. Before we get that fifth wave on the weekly time frame. It's very difficult to trade. I mean, even now I'm looking for a buy, but it's not giving a nice correction in here. Just go down to the H1. I would have really liked, because this is the top here and this top here didn't go and break that. I would have really liked to see a regular flat just come down, price just come down and break this low and then go. For 1, 2, 3, at least 3 up, or can turn motive. It didn't do that, so it's like a contracting flat. It's very difficult. There's so many things that can happen here too. Like it can be like 1, 2, and we just get 3 up in here, and then we get an A, a B, and a C before you get that larger A, B, C, or like I mentioned, it may turn motive. But that's the problem with these contracting flats. You're never going to know, and there's just, I mean, it may be just go from here, or like I just showed, it can just give you another one up in here and then fall over and give you a running or expanding flat in there before it goes. So if you're going to trade this in here on the lower time frames, which you can, but it's very risky. I'll just go down to the M15 quickly and show you. Like, so we got an impulse, and an impulse, and we're getting a correction in here. So you get another one up in here. You get 1, 2, 3 up in here, and then an A, a B, a C. And you get a running or expanding flat, and then you get an A, a B, and a C up, or may turn motive, but yeah. So even if you're scalping this, it's really just scalping, UY, I would really like to see this low here broken. And then I could start to look for buys. We do have a bear hidden here. So we do have a very deep correction. So it may go at any time. I am looking for buys on this, but yeah, it's really just scalping too. I don't think it's ready. If we have a look at the H4, we got no bullish divergence in here, so I'd just be expecting a larger correction and more downside. So if you're buying, it's really just scalping. There's nothing to say that is the low yet, so we may just get a correction and more downside. Really, I mean, there's really not much on this. On the lower time frames, I was looking for a flat in here, but over Easter, it's just the market's been flat, of course. Everyone's on holidays. But we got a nice impulse up from a low. I was looking at an A, B, C flat, and I was looking for that to go. It didn't. Instead, we're getting this. So I'm still looking for a buy, but again, this can turn more complex. Like this may be just an A, an A, an A, B, C. And then you get that A, B, C before you get A, B, C. So again, very similar to GY. It's really just scalping at this stage. Take a quick look at the CAD. So the CAD, we got the 3 up. Got that 1, 2, 3. Looking for that wave 4 time factor, and then I'll look for that wave 5 up. Like I've mentioned, I'm pretty much waiting for that time factor, and then I'll see what sort of correction we got. And then if it looks complete, well, then I can start to look for the buy for the wave 5 up. Other than that, it's really not much on it. Yeah, I mean, there's no bullish divergence, so I dare say there's just going to be a correction and more downside. The H1 we do have bullish divergence, but sort of got 3 down breaking this low, so it may just be a C up and more downside. So again, if you're looking for the buy in here on the lower time frames, it's really just a scalp. If you're looking for a buy in there, pretty dangerous. The Swissie's come down and broken the low, so it's broken all these lows over here. H4, we don't have any bullish divergence. So again, I'm just looking for more of a correction in here and more downside. So again, if you're scalping the buys, it's just scalping. If you're looking for the buys, it's just scalping at this stage. If we get this and another one down and we get some sort of a bullish divergence in here, well, then I can start to look for a longer term buy. Until that happens, it's pretty much you got to wait for a correction in here and look for a scalp sell. But yeah. EG, we're in that wave 3 on the daily. We got that 1, 2, 3. We're looking for that wave 4, and then I trade that wave 5 up. On the H1, on the H4, in this wave, we're still in this wave 3 on the daily, but we can get an extended wave in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th wave up in here, finishing off that wave 3. So I'm sort of, I still think we're in this wave 3. So you could wait for a time factor similar size to this over here, like I've got this arrow, and then if you see a complete correction, well, you could look for a buy. At this stage, it looks like an A, B, C, A, B, C, and then you get like an A, B, C in here, and then look for a buy for that wave 5 up to finish off that wave 3, and then I'd be looking for the larger correction in the wave 4, and then 5th wave up. Looking at WTI, looking at this A, B, and a C up in here, and we've got an A, B, C in here. So I'm looking for this C up. So I am looking for a nice buy on the daily, but again, I don't think this C wave's over. On the H4, we're already starting to get bear hidden here. So I'm looking at a 1, 2, 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5 down. Looking for this time factor here. So you have to be very careful here. H1, one sort of scenario we may get is like we got an impulse, and then we got 3 up in here. So we may get another one down in here, giving us a running or expanding flat, and then another one up, an A, B, C, and then you could start to look for a sell. It may even be more complex, and we get like 5 up in here to fill in the time factor before we get more downside. But again, I'm not looking at this as the low at this stage. For me to start looking at this as the low, I'd need an impulse up in here, breaking that top, and then a correction, and then I could look for a buy, a longer term buy. Until that happens, or we get that 5th wave down. Until that happens, I'm not really looking for buys longer term yet. So we'll be scalping in a correction. So just be mindful of that if you're trading it. Gold, we're still in this wave three. We got that like 1, 2, 3. We've got to wait for this wave four, and then I can trade that wave five up. Until you wait for this, you really need to wait for that correction because we're right breaking all-time record highs on gold. So you don't want to get caught up the top. Wait for a correction and then look for your buys, and you got a lot better opportunity to have a successful trade. H4, there's not really much at all. We got no bearish divergence. So H1 we got the 5 up, like we were looking at last week. So we sort of got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We do have bearish divergence in here. This is still looking very much bullish. Yeah, there's no sell setup on it, and if you're looking at this as a buy, it's just a scalp to go and break the top. Silver, we got a larger correction here, so this is nice. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We got sort of 3 down in here, 3 up, impulse down. So we do have a larger correction in here, larger than these over here. So we may get another 5 up in here. The only thing I'm concerned about is we do have a possible bear hidden here on the H4. We got bear hidden divergence, so there's nothing to say that this won't come down and break that low again. Unless this comes up, breaks that top, taking out that hidden divergence, we'll then get a correction and we can look for a buy. But because we have that bear hidden there, I would be very careful, because even if this doesn't come down and break the low, it can still be very deep, and I expect it to be very deep correction. Even if we don't break that low, the hidden divergence doesn't play out. So be patient if you're looking for the buy here. I think you know on the H1, we still may get another one up in here. 1, 2, 3. We get a wave 4 in here and a wave 5 up. We'll see if that wave 5 goes up and breaks that top or not. If it doesn't break that top, well, if we get the 5 up in here on the H1 and then you get a sell set up on the lower time frames, well, you could look for that sell to go and break the low, or like I mentioned, you get a very deep correction. And the bear hidden doesn't actually play out, but you get a very deep correction to this, like back down to the 90 fib or 78.6 fib of this move here. So, yeah. Bitcoin, we got the 5 up in here. We're getting a larger correction. I think I mentioned this last week. We've broken the low again. So we have all that bullish divergence. It's a very messy impulse up in here, but this is looking very corrective. Definitely could start to look for a buy for at least 3 up. And it may even go up and break the top on the daily, because we already have that larger correction, so that's fine. We're getting all the bullish divergence. You're starting to get a correction here, a bullish correction, so you sort of can buy it. I didn't like it to start off with this here, because this is the low here. We got an impulse up, a very deep correction. So we sort of get 5 up in there. We got the bearish divergence, so we're getting a correction. And even this, may get another one down in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a complex correction, 3, 3, 3 or 3, 3, 5. And then I'd be looking for upside. So yeah, if you get a buy set up on the lower time frames, may pay off for you and go and break the top on the daily. S&P 500. We sort of had those five up with the wave Z. We got that impulse down. It's gone up and broken the top. It's very choppy breaking the top. And if you've been following me for a while, I was just looking for an A, a B, and a C in here. It went on for a long time and then it fell over. So there is a couple of scenarios here. This may be the flat and it goes up and breaks the top, or there's more downside. Like we get a correction in here, and then like an A, a B, and a C. So there's still two scenarios here. H4, we got like 1, 2, 3. We got a bear hidden in here. So I'm just looking for a wave 4 and a wave 5 down at this stage. So yeah, I'd be very careful with the buys at this stage. There's no bullish divergence there, and we do have a possible bear hidden. So yeah, it's really just scalping. Yeah, get that wave 5 down, and then I can start to look for longer term buys. Until that happens, well, um, AU200, we were expecting this for a long time. It kept on going up. Like here, looking, this here could have happened at any time. It could have happened here. It could have happened here. But instead, it kept on going up. And overall, we're getting all that bearish divergence there. So it was only a matter of time before this happened, like I mentioned for the last probably 12 months. It's very similar to S&P. We have a possible bear hidden here, so you have to be very careful. We have a bear hidden in here, so ideally this goes up, takes out the bear hidden, and then gives you a correction, and then you could look for a buy. A very dangerous buying up here, because it may just come up, break this top here without breaking this top here, and then fall over and break that low, and then like you get bullish divergence, and then you get a buy set up. So yeah, just be careful with the buys at this stage. It's really just scalping. You know. The FTSE, this is fine. We had bearish divergence in there, got a nice impulse down. It is going straight back up, so we have to be a little bit careful there. We may be able to scalp this, but it's like many of the other indices, we're getting this bear hidden. So we sort of got like 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4 and a wave 5 down. So again, if you're looking for the buy, be very careful, because the bear hidden may not play out, but even if it doesn't play out, more than likely we'll get a deep correction in here of that wave there. So yeah, just be careful with the buys. If you get a sell set up on it, you could look for a sell. And that's what I'd be doing on this. But if I traded it, I don't trade this, but getting all that bearish divergence in here. So if you got a nice impulse down and a sell set up, you could look to sell it to go and break the low. Lastly, the DAX. Now, this one's a little bit different than the others, because this one here, we haven't broken this low here. That low there didn't go and break this low here. So we have a bull hidden here. So this one here can go up and break that top. So yeah. On the H4, it does have a bear hidden, but yeah, it's not valid to trade. What I'd be looking for is some sort of a correction in here, like an A, a B, and a C. If you got a C down here and then a buy set up on the lower time frames, you could look like 1, 2, 3, and it may even go and break that top with that bull hidden. So yeah, I'd be waiting for a nice correction though. You need at least 3 down. Like, we've only got 1 down in here. So this is looking corrective here. So wait for this one to come down, just break that top low. You know, at this stage, it's a regular flat because, you know, this top here hadn't been broken in this B wave. So just come down, break that low as a regular flat, then go down onto the lower time frames. If you get a buy set up, you could look for a buy. So I'll hope you enjoy your Easter break, and I'll see you out there next week.